Hi guys, this is Mrs. Steffi, and today we're going to go over EDM Lesson 6.4 about pan balance problems. Now, if you've never dealt with a pan balance, the most important thing is to keep everything in balance. Whatever you do to one side of the balance, you must do the other side. Otherwise, there's going to be, well, disaster. We don't want disaster, and we don't want you to have your math problems incorrect, so please make sure that whatever you do to one side, you're doing to the other side. Let's take a look at the math message here. Here's our pan balance. That's what this thing here is. It's got two pans, one on each side, and it's balanced on the little tippy point of this triangle. On the left-hand side, we have two cylinders. On the right-hand side, we have a cylinder and two spheres. It says let M be the number of cylinders and N be the number of spheres. So if you have your book in front of you, right now on the cylinders, write the letter M, and on the spheres, write the letter N. And let's see what we get, because it says write an equation. Well, an equation has an equal sign, and the two pan balances are equal, and I know that because they're in balance. One isn't higher or lower than the other. So I can write my equation like this. 2m's equals 1m plus 2n's. And here it is. 2m equals m plus 2n's. And we can even write it in bar model format. 2m equals an m and 2n's. So let's solve this. How can we figure out what we're going to get? So once again, here are our two cylinders. Here's our cylinder and our sphere. And what I'm going to do is the same to each side. First, I'm going to take a cylinder off the left side. And if I take a cylinder off the left side, I have to do the same to the right side. And so I look at what's left. On the left-hand side, I have one cylinder, and on the right-hand side, I have two spheres. And that tells me that one cylinder weighs as much as two spheres. That's pretty simple. Let's try another one. So on the left-hand side, I have a cube and 3 marbles. And on the right-hand side, I have, well, let's count them, 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14 marbles. And I want to know how much one cube weighs. So I'm going to have to get one cube alone on one side of my pan balance. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of 3 marbles on the left-hand side. So there's my cube all by itself. But if I get rid of 3 marbles on the left, I have to balance it out by getting rid of 3 marbles on the right. And so if I do that, then I can see what's left. 1 cube is equal to 11 marbles because that's what's left. Let's take a look at our next problem. Okay. 1 cube weighs as much as how many oranges? Well, in the last couple problems, we've taken things away, things that are the same on each side, but here we don't have anything that's the same. I have cubes on one side and oranges on the other, and I don't know what's equal, so I can't subtract anything right now. But there is still something I can do. I can divide, okay? But whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other side. So if I want to get to 1 cube, I'm going to take 2 cubes. 2 divided by 2 equals 1. That means I'm going to have to divide the other side by 2 as well. So let's see what that looks like. So 2 divided by 2 leaves me with 1 cube. I crossed out half of the cubes. On the other side, I'm going to have to cross out half of the oranges. Ooh, well, half of 7 means I'm going to cross out 1, 2, 3, and a half oranges. So here's what this shows me. 1 cube is equal to 1, 2, 3, and a half of an orange. We can divide both sides to solve our pan balance. Let's take a look at this one. This one's a little trickier. And I'm going to give you a second to pause the video and solve this on your own. But let's take a look. 1/2 of an orange is equal to 11 grapes. And the question says 1 whole orange weighs as much as how many grapes? Now, some of you are like, I know this, Mrs. Steffi. Okay. But what's the math that you did? Remember, these pictures are going to lead us into equations. So I want you to be thinking about the math side too. All right, so pause and do this problem in your book. And now that we're back, let's try the math. So what's the math that's going on here? If I have half an orange and I want to get to a whole orange, well, I have to multiply it by 2 because 2 times a half equals 1. So on the other side, guess what? I'm going to multiply by 2. So 11 grapes times 2 means I'm going to need 11 more grapes. So guys, let's go back to the oranges side. Here, instead of having a half an orange times 2, I'm going to have a whole orange. On the right-hand side, instead of having 11 grapes, I'm going to multiply that by 2 and add a bunch of grapes here. And now I have 11 times 2, which is 22 grapes. So one whole orange weighs as much as 22 grapes. All right, let's take a look at our next problem. We have 4 blocks and 5 marbles on the left, 1 block and 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14 marbles on the right. Now, since we have 2 types of objects on each side, we're going to have to do more than one step to solve this problem. So I want you to pause and give this problem a try. Pause the video, and when you've got it figured out, come back and make sure that you know what we're doing. Okay, so let's take a look at this problem. Here we go. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to get rid of this lone block. See it? The goal is to try to get blocks alone. So I can take off 1 block from each side. Okay, and if I do that, let's see what we have left. So here's 1 block. So here we have 3 blocks and 5 marbles. And now we just have marbles left on the side. Okay, so now let's get rid of some marbles. I can take 5 marbles off of each side. And if I do that, here's what I'm left with. I have 3 blocks and 9 marbles. Well, just like in the last 2 problems, when we don't have the same object on each side, that's when we have to divide because we're trying to get down to 1 block. So I'm going to divide 3 by 3 because 3 divided by 3 equals 1. And I'm trying to get to 1 block. That means on the other side, guess what? I have to divide by 3. And what does that look like? Well, 3 divided by 3 equals 1. So I'm left with 1 block over here. And 9 marbles divided by 3 means I'm left with 3 marbles. And so now I know that 1 block weighs as much as, well, 3 marbles. All right, guys. So we've come to the end of the lesson. What I want you to do now is to complete the rest of the problems on the pages in your EDM journal. And then I want you to put the answers into the Google form to check your work. If you have any questions, please make sure that you check in with your teacher during their office hours, and they will go over any questions that you got wrong or couldn't figure out. Good luck.